Alrighty. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This one, I'm sorry, it's a little bit late. I was scheduled to record on Friday. This is coming out on Saturday. I'm recording it on Saturday, November 19th, and uh, the reason it's late is because I had to do some Christmas or like November. Like the holidays are coming. And I'm busy. Okay, but I do take full responsibility for it being late. That's my apologies. I have no one else to blame. It is my podcast. I host it. I produce it. I edit it, and I upload it. So that's how I like it. Let's get right into the episode because honestly, I'm not here to beat around any bushes. At least not until we're sponsored by Manscaped. But you may notice I do have new glasses. These are new glasses, and they're not prescription. They just make me look like I know what I'm talking about. Because when your hair is like, when you have my hair, everyone, and I take my glasses off, I just look like a stoner. When I put them on, I look like a post transition, like, or maybe like in transition lesbian to possibly like male. Like I look like I'm currently taking tea as a woman, and my voice is in transit. I look fully like I know what I'm talking about. You know, people take me seriously, and that's what it takes to be taken seriously is to undergo a massive physical transformation. I do look like if I was to shave, if I didn't have this beard and I didn't have a voice that was you know, man like, I'm not going to say manly, man like, then you would not, I look like a full on lesbian if I shave, anytime I shave. So I'm just like kind of stuck. Anytime I'm wearing these glasses, I'm stuck with where like just a beard. I have to have the beard. I have to keep it growing. I can't really trim it that low because then I just look like a. I was eating at a restaurant yesterday with my girlfriend, and the waiter came up to us and said, hello, can I do anything to get you ladies started? And I looked at him and he looked at me. He's like, oh, my bad. My bad. And he was obviously embarrassed. And I said, no, man, you're good. You're good. I am a woman. My pronouns are he, they, though. But, you know, it is what it is. All right. Let's get moving. Uh, I always keep on forgetting to do the news intro. Here we go. Let's get right into it. No chit chat. Cutting straight to the point. Just the meat. That's a new segment. It's no longer Jew news. It is just the meat, which sounds sexual, but I assure you it's not. So in the news we had, well, actually World War III almost started. I guess since the last podcast, World War III literally almost started. I woke up one morning and I checked the news. I'm like, oh shit, Poland just got rocket or missile, like two missiles launched at Poland from Russia, is what they assumed. People start panicking. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? The news people in the news, they're like, it is suspected two Russians. One of the news. It is suspected that two Russian missiles have launched and killed two Polish farmers. It was like just a random house in Poland. It was just a random farmhouse in Poland. It just got blasted with two missiles. But it turns out, so after a lot of debate, and as you know, Poland is part of NATO. So if that was some sort of aggression from Russia, like just I guess in a general fuck you Poland, which I can respect. I can respect a general fuck you Poland. I don't really have any problems with Poland. Poland, I actually know someone from the Netherlands. That is Poland, right? Yeah, and he's pretty chill. He's pretty chill. He's cool. It's just a lot of it's a farming culture, I believe. A lot of farmers. they tend to keep to themselves. I respect Polish people. Um, yeah, and they're not really that opinionated. I feel like they kind of stay out of every fight, but they are part of NATO, and NATO is like it's kind of like if you mess with this person and he's part of NATO, then we'll mess with you. It's like some sort of like group conglomerate trying to like defend world peace or something. I'm not too sure even what NATO stands for. I'm gonna be honest, but uh, if that was some sort of like aggression towards Poland, then it was gonna be well. Now we have to launch into a full fledged attack, defending our NATO, Poland, our NATO, you know, comrade and friend. We have to come to their defense. So there was about a day when even the stock market held its breath, interest rates kind of held their breath. Everyone was kind of waiting and seeing, hey, well, is World War III happening? Turns out, after a little bit of debate, they found out that it was actually Ukrainian missiles. So now Ukraine is I guess they don't have the best. I mean, we keep on sending them money. I don't know why they're messing this up, but I guess they just shot two missiles at a random Polish farmer. It killed two of them. Which I think that if you're a Polish farmer in the middle of nowhere and you see two missiles, you have to, the first thing you have to assume is why us? Like, why are we being targeted? Like, the first one, after the first one, you're like, damn, that was a mistake. And then the second one, you're like, this was on purpose. You're, what, why are we being targeted? That's, as a Polish farmer, I would literally turn to my friend and be like, what have you done? What have you been doing? What, who's after you? Oh man, I mean, yeah, it sucks. It sucks to just be a random Polish farmer and then just be absolutely obliterated by it. Imagine they dropped a nuke and it just like completely atomized everything in the area. Yeah, they dropped two missiles and killed two people. Like that's one death per missile. I I feel like that would have been better used if the Ukraine knew what they were doing and shot that towards Russia. And I don't know how you make that sort of mistake. Um, I actually, I actually wonder if maybe that missile was made. I have a friend that works at Lockheed Martin or whatever and makes missiles. Wonder if he had any part to play in that missile. That would be interesting. Wonder if there's a way to find out, track a missile, like they have a number or something, and you can see, hey, that was one of mine, and unfortunately, it did bomb a Syrian refugee camp. But yeah, so that's unfortunate. Thankfully, we're not going into World War III yet. I will say yet because um, it seems to be kind of still fluctuating. I mean, Russia is a sort of a loose cannon, and I've heard rumors that Putin has cancer, something like that. He's very sick. He's ill, so he's trying to do this to finish off his I guess his reign as emperor. And I don't really know what's true. I don't know. I don't even know if that's true. But it's uh it's an it's a crazy time to live because never before have we felt so good about where we are in history and also on the verge of such turmoil. Seems like every day there's a new story. Um, from bombing Poland to the price of gas costing literally $18 or whatever. Um, but yeah, no, I remain optimistic. I don't think that we're gonna go to war because America doesn't want to go to war. I don't think anyone here even wants to defend America or defend Ukraine that much. The only people that seem to want to defend Ukraine that much are politicians. They're sending. Actually, I found this video. Did I save it? Damn it! I don't know if I. Man, I don't know if I saved it. Oh, I did. I did save it. Look. Oh, here it is. Here it is. this is
deal to help Ukraine. School districts across
I'm not going to play the whole thing, but
Congress taking quick action, approving a $13 billion deal to help Ukraine. School districts across our area tell us they're seeing significant increases in children that are homeless.
I'm announcing another $800 million.
so it's you can tell the theme. It's bouncing between how much money they give Ukraine and literally homeless kids, homeless people in America.
To further augment Ukraine.
A revealing look at homelessness among the middle class.
The U.S. have announced new military assistance for Ukraine. They promised an extra $713 million.
We experienced as a county a 22% increase in homelessness.
The Senate overwhelmingly passing a new $40 billion Ukraine aid bill.
We are learning the homeless problem we are seeing in Knoxville is growing at an alarming rate.
The U.S. is sending an additional $700 million in military aid.
We're in dire straits. We don't know where we're going to go. We have no savings.
The U.S. is sending an additional $1 billion in weapons and aid to Ukraine.
The CEO of the Coalition for the Homeless of Central Florida tells me this is a scary trend.
Pentagon announcing today it's sending a new $450 million.
So, I mean, yeah, the only people that really, I don't know anyone, I've never talked to anyone in like day-to-day life that have been like, yeah, we need to send more money to Ukraine. Like, I don't think any people really even care that much. Like, if you ask anyone, they're like, yeah, it's fucked up what's happening. But and then if you ask them, hey, should we invent $8 billion to send them? A lot of people will say probably not. And that's kind of where I am. I'm like, yeah, do we need to keep on sending Ukraine money? Probably not, right? I don't really believe the news that they have a fighting chance in this or that they're defending. I think that Russia is going to get what they want, and in this case, that's Ukraine. And you know, it's hopefully it happens peacefully. Hopefully, they take over Ukraine in a peaceful manner, and America doesn't decide to step in and take that shit and start that up. But I mean, we're inventing money. Money is, I mean, I've always said this, money is fake. They're inventing money to give to the people in Ukraine. And for all I know, I think that someone gave Zelensky an Oscar not too long ago. I'm not too sure what's up with that, but dude, this cat is like literally destroyed. Stop. He doesn't know I'm recording a podcast right now, and he's trying to destroy my hand. What do you have to say for yourself? He's just purring. He's literally purring as he destroys my hand. You're a menace, dude. You're a menace. Can you just chill? Okay. If you're just listening, there's a cat on my beanbag. I record this on a beanbag on my floor because it's a high class, high society podcast for high thinking intellectuals, okay? Let's move along. So I'm not going to play that whole thing. It's pretty much just it's like newscasters just talking about how much money we're sending to Ukraine, and then also how much homeless people we have. And I mean, it's not to say give homeless people the money. It's just a funny back and forth. But I've met I have a couple like liberal friends, and I don't think any of them are like really even psyched about like giving money to Ukraine. No one's really jazzed. No one's jazzed on that. So yeah, we've got the homeless, the missile, Poland missile. Unfortunate, true, but kind of funny because it landed on one Polish farmer. Just like one dude just got missiled twice, and I mean my heart goes out to him, but I mean it could have been a lot worse. I mean, it could have been a lot worse. I think 2 Polish farmers is like the best case. Just 2 random guys. It's the best case scenario. And it's sad, but they could have been like a city. And then it's like, imagine if it hits a city and it's like, then you have to, oh man, that's a tough one. So say that that missile did hit say it hit a school and it killed 20 children, right? And then America, our country, steps in and they're like, whoa, 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 what's happening here? Is Russia really stepping on this? What's going on? And then they find out that, oh, it was actually Ukraine by accident. And then our country, America, will be like, hey, what? Ukraine, are you good? I think we'd have to stop giving them money because we're sending them missiles and stuff. If they're just blowing, imagine they accidentally blow up a school. It would be real tough to choose sides after that. Do I choose Russia or Ukraine, who just sent 2 missiles into a school by accident? It could have just as easily been that, although, maybe not. Who knows? All right, let's get back into the news. Let's dive right back in. Enough with the sad news. Let's get on to some happy news. So I covered this topic yesterday. This is the Eli Lilly situation. Eli Lilly, they make insulin, and someone created a Twitter account with their name and paid Elon Musk to verify their account, and now Eli Lilly, so with that fake Eli Lilly account, they tweeted, "We would love to announce that insulin is now free for everyone." This caused a real ripple effect in the stock market. Eli Lilly's stocks plummeted to almost like nothing as investors realized if they're giving away a free product, then we won't be making money. And now Eli Lilly CEO responds saying insulin tweet flap probably, quote unquote, probably signals need to bring down costs. In his first public remarks since a false tweet inflamed and outraged over the cost of insulin in the U.S., Eli Lilly CEO David Ricks defended his company's prices, but also conceded it could be lower. It probably highlights that we have more work to bring down the cost of insulin for people. Okay. He made his comments at an event held by Stat News this week. Eli Lilly did not respond to AR's request for the information about what work the company will do to lower the prices, because they won't. That's my main problem with capitalism. It's no longer about bringing the best, like the perfect capitalist model, quote unquote, quote, right? The ideal capitalist model is several people, several businesses, I mean several in each sector, not just several like there is now, where it's Amazon, Google, and like Nestle, right? That's like food, entertainment, and news, or you get what I mean, like delivery. But several companies in every sector fighting to give the consumer the best product for the least amount of money, right? Some companies have forgotten that that's what capitalism means, and I mean some capitalists currently have forgotten that's what capitalism means, and they're currently defending something that much more resembles sort of I mean like an like a technocracy. Look, I'm using these big words because I want to seem cool, but I don't know what it resembles now, but it's not really even capitalism because they're not really competing. They're all in cahoots with each other. Look, if you don't think Coca-Cola and Pepsi have meetings where they talk about, I guess it's probably called a mastermind, where they meet together, they talk about plans, talk about their new releases. They're not really that competitive even, right? Pepsi releases a Pepsi Cola, or I mean Pepsi Vanilla. Coke releases Coke Vanilla, right? It's not that competitive. And companies have gotten so big to the point where becoming a new member into a market is almost impossible. We literally have shows and I'm talking about Shark Tank. The whole point of Shark Tank is to attempt to get backing for your product in order to even try to break through onto the market, because capitalism has gone so massive at this point that breaking into a market is almost impossible. It's so impossible that 0.0001 of like the companies even see any success. And you know, like a lot of things, I mean, it's not a lottery system, and that's what I like is it does require a person who will, gamble and take the chance and put themselves on the line and their families and whatnot, and that's tough. That's tough for them, but you know, there's a lot of room for improvement with capitalism. For instance, insider trading with government officials could improve. I mean, could be removed, quite honestly. We don't need that. We don't need Nancy Pelosi becoming a billionaire by just talking to she probably literally knows nothing about investments, and you just ask her why she's making these investments and she'd be like, I just like the ticker name. The ticker name is TRB. I love that. I love those 3 letters. It's like, so why did you choose to invest in this 12 months ago after the meeting with the solar panel company? She's like, well, um, I got drunk one time and my husband was in his underwear and we were talking and he mentioned solar panels. And so I bought solar panels. Nancy Pelosi is becoming a multi-millionaire off of insider trading, and it needs to stop. The whole thing needs to stop. Yeah, I mean, capitalism with the ideas like people creating stuff and competition making new improvements and stuff like that, but things aren't really even improving. Actually, quite the opposite. Things are actually like becoming a lot actually like just shitty, like really bad. Like things are purposely built to break now. Like you buy a printer and it counts how many pages go through it, and then after like 100,000 pages, it just blows up. Literally becomes a bomb and just blows itself up. Ink cartridges, it counts how many ink cartridges go in it, and it's programmed like this. Your iPhone, literally, if you've had an iPhone 4 for like however long, it's like, sorry, you just can't use the internet anymore because the internet is, your phone is so old it starts like dying at like 80%, just starts dying. Your phone just can't charge anymore. Like the things are not made to last anymore. I've literally bought a toaster from Goodwill that was made in like the 1950s that will still toast, right? Things were just built to last. But now it's all about the cheapest, the biggest margins, the crappiest products. This is the world we live in, right? This is the capitalist. We love it. This is what we love. This is what America's built on. This is the American dream. American dream is bringing the consumer the shittiest product for the cheapest amount, right? And in some cases, if you market it really well, then you can bring them the shittiest product for a massive amount, right? You're like, hey, this is a luxury item, and you have it's all the marketing is all white and it has like a bold black font. That's it. And you put it on a shelf and you put it in cool packaging and you buy it, you open it, and it's literally Cheez-Its, right? It's like these are premium Cheez-Its, and then you sell it to Whole Foods and you make massive margins. You know what I'm talking about. Those, like, they try to seem like way nicer than they actually are, but it's like you'll buy a deodorant and it's like, Yeah, this is it'll be like in a pack. It'll be in a glass container. The deodorant will be in a glass jar, and it'll be like the exact same. Like you twist it to bring the deodorant up. The stick, you can see through it. It has like white or whatever, and it has like nice bold letters. It's like Dior, or and then you smell it, and it smells like an actual ass. You're like, what are you doing? This is like, this is just what it is, and um, and some people are, I mean, the people that are best at business now are the best at selling, and it's always been that way, but now they're just selling shitty products. Um, Insulin is not even really a product that the consumer, you're not trying to you don't even need to advertise insulin, because your doctors will tell people you will die without this. That's what you need in a product. If Apple said you will die without the new iPhone, everyone would be in line for the new iPhone, right? Yeah, I mean, yeah, insulin should be one of those things that's free if you need it. If you need it to survive, you shouldn't have to like pay out of pocket for that shit. Unless, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's tough. That's like fucked up. Like I wouldn't want to pay. I wouldn't want to pay for insulin at all. I don't even want to pay for my dentist. My dentist literally said my teeth. I literally can't afford teeth in this country. I can't afford having teeth. They're like, yeah, your wisdom teeth have to be removed. My wisdom teeth literally have to be removed, and it's going to cost like $4,000. And they said I need to have like a professional consultation with a surgeon. I'm like, are I can't afford to have teeth now. I know that sentence sounds wild, but I can't afford to have just my teeth growing into my face. My teeth growing in is bankrupting me. In this country, this country that I'm proud to call home. We have a lot of great rights. But I apparently can't have teeth. Can't afford teeth, right? That's why I stand by the idea of just when kids are born, take out all their teeth, give them dentures. Like when they turn 15, just take out all their teeth, give them dentures. Every kid has dentures. Every kid has a perfect smile. When they get older, brand new perfect smile. Then they have that one for the rest of their life. Everyone has a good smile. No one has to. Dentists go out of business. Thank God. Those scam artists. Fucking hate dentists. Sorry if you're a dentist listening to this. I know a lot of people will message me and they'll say they listen to this while, I guess, like stocking shelves and putting boxes on, stacking boxes and stuff. Can completely I relate to that. When I was working at Home Depot, that's all I did. Was listen to podcasts and stock shelves and stack boxes. But if a dentist is listening to this while working on a person's mouth, look into their mouth one more time and tell me how much should they pay for a tooth to be pulled? I mean, that's a tough question to answer. My I'm probably not close to $1,000. Shouldn't cost that much, but it's just dumb. All right. What is this? Another news story. Maker of Suicide Pod plans to launch in Switzerland. Okay, this is actually old. This is from last year. Why am I just now hearing this? This must have been one of the ones that someone sent in. The company behind 3D printed pod, which can help carry out assisted suicide, has said it's confident it can be used in Switzerland as early as next year. Interesting. A 3D printed suicide pod. Well, I mean, I'd like to hear some reviews on this. Let's see. Sarko commissioned a Swiss legal expert who found that the machine did not break any laws in the country, but other lawyers questioned his finding. And assisted suicide organization Dignitas said it will be unlikely to meet much acceptance. Assisted suicide, in which somebody is given the means to end their own life, is legal in Switzerland. About 1,300 people die there in this way in 2020. That is a depressing statistic. Holy shit. I don't know what's more depressing, assisted suicide or actual real like gun in mouth suicide. Of course, Dignatus is a Swiss nonprofit organization for. Okay, so that makes more sense. It's for terminal illness. Okay, I can understand terminal. So if you're terminally ill and you want to assisted suicide, that makes sense, right? That's like asking someone to pull the plug. Um, but I mean, if I was terminally ill and I wanted to suicide, I want to ask someone to pull the plug. I would just like go out on like with the most amount of like shoot up like heroin and just like a massive amount of an overdose of ecstasy just overwhelming me, and I'll just die. And what to me probably felt what would feel good, but to everyone else I would just be convulsing violently and like vomiting, but it would be a peaceful death probably. That's your body telling you to stop, but I mean your body's dead, so who cares? um Yeah, I mean, on their website, they advertise that they've helped 3,248 people with suicide at home with Switzerland and Dignatus housed flat near Zurich. So they're out there. They're helping people kill themselves. So who knows where this will come to next? A suicide pod is it's a funny concept, but it's really depressing once you start thinking about it. But it's a joke. It was a joke in what's that show, Futurama. They had suicide pods and they would just go in there and put a quarter in and it would kill you. um but you know, life imitates art and sometimes art imitates life, but in this case people are, I guess, actually using this to kill themselves. So that's a light subject. Hope you guys like that light-hearted subject about the suicide pods. Just a little bit of a gaff that I wanted to bring to you guys' attention. Nice little meme. I like that you can 3D print it, so you could possibly 3D print your own suicide pod. What's that guy building over there? You have like just a massive pod in your backyard. All right, here's another article from CNN Business. This came out 2 days ago, or 4 days ago now. Jeff Bezos' top tips for managing the economic downturn. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. Let's listen.
It takes a village to support society.
This is an
and
advertisement.
businesses have a responsibility to support that village.
Great.
I am Peter Kwabwa, and
I am Peter Kwabla.
We are in some tough economic times.
Yeah.
Some people say that
Jeff Bezos does not know anything about tough economic times.
perhaps we're already in a recession. Do you think that we're in one? And what is your advice for small business owners?
I don't know whether we're technically in a recession. I know economists argue over that, and they have certain technical definitions. What I can tell you is the economy does not look great right now. Things are slowing down. You're seeing layoffs in many, many sectors of the economy. People are
Is that his wife? Dude, his wife looks like a dude. Her mouth is so wide. Like, it looks like if she smiled, it would, like her whole face would just, like, you know, like half of her face, like one of those, the Canadians from South Park.
slowing down. The probabilities say if we're not in a recession right now, we're likely to be in one very soon. So my advice to people, whether they're small business owners or, is take some risk off the table. If you were going to make a purchase, maybe slow down that purchase a little bit. Keep some dry powder on hand, and wait.
I'm not sure what dry powder means. Could you elaborate on that, Jeff Bezos?
A bit and see how. Try to reduce some risk in your business or your life.
Well, you tweeted batten down the hatches. That's what you mean by that?
That's what I mean. If you're an individual and you're thinking about buying a new, large screen TV, maybe slow that down. Keep that cash. See what happens. Same thing with a refrigerator or a new car or whatever. Just take some risk off the table. If you're a small business, maybe.
He's right, but maybe shitting on him isn't the thing to do, because he's right that during an economic downtime you have to, but that is literally common sense. So, he's not really offering much expertise as the richest person in the world on what to do. He probably hasn't had to deal with a recession in his life, so these are probably things that he's heard will help, is stop buying things. It would be funny. Imagine they interview him and he's like, and you know how he's giving these examples, like, don't buy that TV and don't buy that. What he's like, for instance, like, when you try to go to the yacht and you're thinking about buying one yacht and you're stuck between this one and that one, just minimize the risk, and instead of getting both of them, just get one. Okay. And for instance, I've laid off multiple. I'm gonna hear his voice. I'm gonna try to do Jeff Bezos.
Delay some capital purchases. Do you really
delay
need that
some
new
capital
piece of
purchase?
equipment? Maybe it can wait a little bit.
Maybe it can wait a little bit.
Just a little bit of risk reduction.
A little bit of risk reduction
Could make the difference for that small
could
business.
make the difference. He
if
has a
we do
little
get
bit of a Kermit thing going.
into even more serious economic problems. So you got to play the probabilities a little bit.
You gotta play the probability a little bit. Gotta play the probability a little bit. So here's what I would do. So when I'm going to the yacht and I'm thinking about buying a yacht, I'm stuck between this yacht and this yacht. Normally I would buy both yachts, but in these economic times, you're gonna have to choose and only get one. Okay, you're gonna have to only get one. And for instance, I usually staff my yachts fully with several hundred people. I've got servants, I've got sex slaves. I've had to cut down staffing and sex slavery by almost nearly half. So if that's where you're at in this world, I mentioned this to help the common person, the common folk. So please batten down the hatches and just take it easy. Take it easy, right?
Any idea in terms of
I don't
what
know
you're
if that was
hearing
any
or
good.
just with your expertise as to how long this recession could last?
I don't think even the most experienced economists in the world can answer that question.
Yeah, the more I so I wasn't really alive for the first economic recession back in 28 or 2011, 20 whatever. I think it was like 2009, 2010, like 2008, 2009, 2010 was like the biggest. So I wasn't really alive. I was 9. I was 9 when it happened. I'm 23 now. And as I look at statistics and stuff, I realize that economists it's almost like a bullshit job. It's like a meteorologist, right? The fact that they can't agree is concerning, right? On almost every other science, right? You propose your hypothesis, hopefully conducted with the scientific method. That hypothesis is tested and tested and tested until you can almost solidify it as a theory, right? And then you offer that up to the scientific community and say, hey, I ran a bunch of tests. This is my theory. What do you guys think? And then they test it, and they're like, yeah, this works across most tests. This is a solid theory, right? Economists don't work like that. This, like, one economist can say, yes, I tested. We ran it through 100 models. We are in a recession. And then they send it out to the community, and half of the community says, yes, I ran it through, but you're wrong. These numbers actually mean we're doing all right. We're doing A-okay, right? And the reason for this is because so much is determined by what economics think and their opinions can be bought, right? And the way that they interpret numbers and data sets and correlations can be bought and traded. So they're working for this person, and they're like, yeah, they're working for the housing community, and they're like, we need you to tell everyone that the market's not going to crash. And so they do. And then half the other people, the realistic ones, are like, yeah, there's going to be a market crash. Like, that's what's happening right now, is like all the banks are like, yeah, housing market's going to go down by at least 5%. And then, of course, all the companies that sell houses, they're economists, they're like, hey, yeah, we're expecting a 6% increase in homes by this time next year. Come on, buy a home from old Jimmy down the street. And it's made me realize, I mean, as a individually thinking 23-year-old adult male, cis white male, I'll add, that economists are pretty much bullshitters. They're paid to interpret data in a way that is favorable to whoever they're interpreting the data for. I mean, it's just what it is. It's what it is. If you really want to know if we're in a recession, just walk outside and try to buy fucking lemonade. I paid dude, try to buy a 12-pack of cola. That shit's like $10. It's almost $1 a can. You don't need an economist to tell you that we're in a recession if it's almost $1 a can. What the hell is going on? I spent like $8.99 on a pack of Sprite. Should that be happening? No, it's a 12-pack of Sprite. Each can is like 50 cents. Should be. It probably costs 12 cents of, it's probably 12 cents of liquid in each one, plus 2 cents of aluminum. They're selling it. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what's happening. Jeff Bezos, all you have to do is walk down an aisle at Walmart and start looking at well, I mean, he doesn't have any frame of reference. He's like, oh, butter's always been $25? Guess I've just been paying, I haven't been buying a lot of butter. Guess I just haven't been buying a lot of butter. Huh. But yeah. It's interesting, and I've never been alive for a recession. I've never been on my own trying to survive a recession. So I'm excited. I'm embracing it with open arms and as sort of as a challenge, as the Warriors from 300, putting my shield up and really just trying to take this on. I'm trying to keep my money, save my money, hold it up, and hold down the fort, batten down the hatches, as Jeffrey Bezos would say, batten down the hatches. That being said, let's move on to TikTok time. So we've got a couple good TikToks. I think I played already one of them, which was the one of the homeless people, but let's do this one. Or these are people on Twitter being... So a lot of people on Twitter, after Elon Musk took it over, and I believe Twitter actually went private, but don't quote me on that. Twitter employees have been either fired in mass, because let's be honest, you don't need that many people running Twitter. Half of those people probably do not work. And a lot of people have actually quit in solidarity. So this is like a TikTok I found of someone who's like quitting, and they're like, yeah, we're quitting because Elon.
Everybody here, we're all about to get fired from Twitter. I've been here 9 years and 9 months now. Same with you. How long were you here? 4 years. 4 years? 2 months.
100 of employees have reportedly been fired or staged walkouts after loyalty oath to a new owner, Elon Musk.
10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. Happy New Year! Yay! Hooray! That's a lot of pomp and circumstance. Okay. Yeah, oh yeah, let's try the badges.
Oh, so they're trying their... Musk told the social media company's staffers to sign up for long hours at high intensity or that they would simply accept their resignation. So, I mean, look. Elon Musk, he's battening down the hatches and clearing shop, which happens every second. And, dude, cat, I swear to God, if you don't stop being a menace, this cat is back. It took a break, and it's back. Play with him. Play with him. Play with your brother. Play with your brother. And if you are my landlord watching this, there is no cat. I am psychotic. I am fully schizophrenic. I'm playing with a false cat right now. There's a false cat biting my hand right now. It's all in my head. I'm crazy. Stop. Here's a TikTok video of a man in Ukraine fighting Russians. And he's setting up his phone to make some content. Gary Vee would be proud. Oh, those are live. You better believe those are live rounds, boy. You can see the smoke from the muzzle flash, too. The heat. Because it's so cold. The heat from his breath. The heat from the muzzle. Oh, yeah. Look at that knockback. That recoil's definitely... Yeah, no, this man's in war. Sort of a quiet moment. And those are real bullets that he's grabbing. 100% real bullets. Oh yeah, gotta reload, my man. So these are the kind of TikToks that... Oh, he's doing a tactical reload. He's reloading his mag right now. Those are definitely real bullets. Oh, this is actually big in the news. If you made it this far, this is a surprise.
Great and glorious again, I am
Donald Trump, this is kind of wild.
In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Was not expecting that this week. So Donald Trump announcing his presidency for 2024, that's, I mean, wild. Oh, I love this one. This one's actually so funny. This guy is opening packs of trading cards, and look at how excited he is when he gets I'm not even gonna spoil it.
Saddam Hussein rookie card. Let's go, dude.
Saddam Hussein rookie card. Let's go. I'm gonna replay that.
Saddam Hussein rookie card.
That was before he blew up, dude. Saddam Hussein, bro. Rookie card. All right, and then I went in. I don't know how this ended up on my TikTok feed, but this pastor might be the craziest pastor I've ever seen. His name's Joe Camilleri. Oh wait, no, Camilleri. Camilleri. Joe Camilleri, right? Pastor Joe Camilleri on TikTok, and he has some crazy points.
Seen a boy last night with a fingernail polish on, and he looked like, oh boy. Oh, I'm like, oh, I want to break his fingers.
Every single homosexual in our country should be charged with the crime, the abomination of homosexuality that they have. They should be convicted in a lawful trial. They should be sentenced with death. They should be
I mean,
lined
this
up
is
against the wall
wild.
and shot in the back of the head.
Anybody else want
Jesus.
to play games before I get to preaching? Huh? You better go ahead and do it right now. Because it's going to be twice as bad here in a few minutes. You do it while I'm preaching. I'll take this microphone and bust you in the mouth with it in the name of God. Because we ain't playing your stupid Democrat games up in this church.
I'm going to take this microphone and bust you in the mouth in the name of God. I like saying that you'll do something in the name of God. Like just saying that in the name of God, doing it rids it of its whatever you're doing. I swear to God, if anyone wants to pipe up here while I'm giving this next sermon, I'm going to come over there. I'm going to shoot you in the back of the head in the name of God. I'll do it. I'll do it. On God, I'll do it. That is kind of the white version of on God. In the name of God.
Church, you hear me?
When are we going to stand up?
Okay, well, this guy's just like... This guy's a Christian who's pissed. When are we going to stand up? I just thought it was kind of funny that that guy has... That guy exists is wild. And that's when I stood up and said, I hope every homosexual, and the way they say homosexual is funny too. Homosexual, every homosexual needs to be taken to the back, and in the name of God, we need to show them who the real love is. What it means to love a man. What it means to love a nice man. I'll show them what a real man, what it means to love a real man. I'll show them what it means when God loves you. When God comes inside you. And they're always so sexual as well. And then that's where I was up last night. And then the music kind of kicks on. I was up last night and, oh Lord, the Lord's Holy Spirit, He filled me up. Oh! And I jumped a little bit at first, but after a while, I got the feeling of God in me. And God came with the Holy Spirit, and oh, I came too. These homosexuals need to be taken out back, and they need to be shot in the head. But and it's always like thinly veiled, like they are gay. Like this guy's 100% gay. Like this pastor Joe Camarilli is 100% gay, and he's like a self-hating gay. And he hates that he's gay so much that he just wants to, I guess, preach about hating them so much. But he is. He 100% is, and he probably has a wife and kids too, so it would ruin his family to come out otherwise. But I mean, it's sad. In the turmoil he's dealing with, I can't even imagine. That guy's so torn, and he's like preaching like that guy needs help. That guy needs help. I saw a boy yesterday with fingernail polish on. A boy, and he looked like a boy. He looked like a little sexy baby boy. All right, well, I'm gonna end this on this. This was from Dave Chappelle. Did an SNL special, and I thought it was pretty funny. He addressed some of Kanye's
It shouldn't be
stuff.
this scary to talk about anything. It's making my job incredibly difficult. And to be honest with you, I'm getting sick of talking to a crowd like this. I love you to death. And I thank you for your support. And I hope they don't take anything away from me. Whoever they are.
That's a Jews controlling the media joke on SNL, which is pretty funny because I think SNL is run by a Jew. But that being said, let's close this out. Thanks for listening, everyone. Hope you have a great holiday. Happy Thanksgiving, and eat lots of turkey. Yep. Everything you need to see is, all my links are in the description below. Take care. Bye. Oh.